But Tuesday to you, Jim McKinnon with Money Management Inc. I got a great book that a friend of mine, Danny Raspberry from Laurel, Mississippi, recommended. It's called Inside Graceland, Elvis's Maid Remembers, and her name was Nancy Rook. She was Elvis's maid for 10 years before he passed away. I just want to show you real quick a little paraphernalia I've got about Elvis. This was, Kim, can you get that? This was, that thing cost a fortune. That thing, not the seminar. The seminar he did, the show he did, look at that, $3. $3 each. And that was in Chicago, and it was February 16th, 1957. And Elvis had already had a couple of number one, well, a lot of number ones. Heartbreak Hotel, My Baby Left Me, Hound Dog, Old Ship, All Shook Up, I Want You, I Need You, Don't Be Cruel, Poor Boy, Too Much. And then he had a new song, That's Where Your Heartache Begins. But Elvis was just absolutely phenomenal. This is a picture that my kids got me for Christmas one year. It's been a long time ago. I lent it to a bank, and the bank unfortunately broke it. You can see up there, it used to light up. All these things in here would light up, and his ring would light up, and his hat would light up, and all that. But that is Elvis actually on his Harley, but the lights don't work anymore. Okay, Kim, we'll go back over here. You can sit down there, and I'll do right here. How about this? Okay, now I want to tell you a little bit about this book. This is a great book. I'd recommend it. Kim got it from me. Where'd you get it from?
Amazon.
And what did it cost?
It was about $25.
About $25. It's well worth it. Danny said when he picked it up, and Danny is the biggest Elvis fan in the world, and he said he couldn't put it down, and I got it yesterday, and I finished reading it. Started yesterday about noon, and then read it last night and finished it up this morning. But the Maid really has some interesting things to tell you, and some of the chapters were Mr. Elvis didn't live like most people. Yeah, Elvis did not have a normal life. She talked about when she first started work there that he would get up about 4:30 in the afternoon and want breakfast. You know, I mean, who eats breakfast at 4:30? Well, Elvis. Obviously, if he wants breakfast at 4:30, she fixed in the afternoon. She fixed him breakfast at 4:30, and then learning my way around, she found her way around Graceland. Memories, Lisa Marie. The proudest day of his life, according to her, was when Lisa Marie was born. I mean, she said he loved that little girl better than life itself. He spoiled her rotten, but that was okay. And they just had a very special relationship. And somebody asked her how he would have reacted to her marrying Michael Jackson. And she said, probably not too well. Anyway, Lord, please save my boy. That's when they found Elvis on the bathroom floor. The next day, what a sad day. That was the actual funeral. Home for the last time. That's when they actually moved. You know, Elvis was first buried in a cemetery along with his mother Gladys, and there were some people that tried to break into the cemetery. Even though Vernon had hired guards to protect it, there were some people that tried to break into the cemetery to steal the graves of him and Gladys. So they decided the best thing to do was to bury him in Graceland, which was not just easy to do, because Graceland was zoned residential, and in order to bury somebody there, it had to be a different zone. So it took Vernon a couple of months to finally get that all worked out, and I'm sure he had to grease a few politicians' hands, which is typical, to get it done. But he did get it done, and so of course Elvis and his wife Gladys, his mother Gladys, Vernon's wife, are both buried there. They tried to find Elvis's little brother. You know, Elvis had a brother that was born. I don't know if they were twins or not. I can't remember. But about the same time he was, and they were so poor they couldn't afford a funeral for the brother. So they just buried him in the woods, put him in a pine in a box, and put him in the woods. And they hoped they could go back and find him, and they spent a lot of money trying to do that. Vernon did, because he wanted to bury that kid, Elvis's brother, along with Elvis and Gladys, but he couldn't find it. Also, there's a place there for Vernon's mother. I forgot what they called her. I'm not going to say it because I'll probably say it wrong. And Vernon. And, you know, we've been to Graceland several times, and it's very moving to go out there and to see that gravesite. This is a great book. I really think, if you liked Elvis, now you may not like Elvis, you may be one of those people that, there's probably one or two in the whole world that don't like him, and maybe you're one of those too. So, if you didn't like Elvis, you probably wouldn't enjoy this book. But this is unlike other Elvis books, because this woman was Elvis's maid. She saw things, you know, she was there every morning when Elvis, and every afternoon when Elvis woke up. She was there, you know, sometimes early in the morning when he would come home. She had just gotten to work when they found him dead on the bathroom floor. And there are a lot of things that I heard about, you know, somebody carried him down, they tried to resuscitate him. None of that was true. They tried to resuscitate him when he was on the floor, and it was a lost cause. Even though they did call the paramedics, they did take him to the hospital, they did try to do resuscitation all the way to the hospital, but he was dead before the ambulance ever got there. But it's a very interesting book. I think you'll enjoy it. It's called Inside Graceland, Elvis's Maid Remembers, Nancy Rook. What else do they need to know to order this book if they want to, Kim?
That's about it. You can usually find it on Amazon, Books A Million,
So
any
where
of
did you
those
order mine?
sites.
Where did you order mine?
From Amazon.
From Amazon. It only took a couple days. You know, I
Right.
mean, I got it a couple days later, and it's only, I think it's about 160 pages. So, and it's fairly big print, so I went through it very quick. So, hope you enjoyed this about Elvis. I loved Elvis. I think there'll never be another entertainer like Elvis Presley. There never was one before, in my opinion. There'll never be one again. Anyway, a little different perspective on him from reading what his maid had to say about him. I think you'll enjoy it. Hey, if you don't, I'm sorry. But I really think you will. Hey, this is Jim and Kim. We hope you have a great week.